there. We've got a special guest today whose name is Brian. And as you can see, Brian is a beagle. In fact, he's our legal beagle. And we have some questions that have come in to us today, and Brian's going to try and answer them. So the first question we have is, on a power of attorney, can an attorney do what they want?
Well, importantly, the answer is no, they can't. First of all, you have to look at the actual deed, the power of attorney document which you signed. Now, the attorney can only do the things that are written within this deed. So if you want them to have a certain power, or more importantly, if you don't want them to have a certain power, you have to mention this in the deed to make sure that it's there and they've got the power, or indeed don't have the power to do something. But on top of that, they've got to follow certain principles which are set down in law. They have to act in your best interests. They have to follow what's called the principle of minimum intervention, which means that they've got to do the least amount possible. And also, they've got to do the kind of things which you would have done if you still had the capacity to do so. So in other words, if you used to give somebody a birthday present, they'll do that. And they're not going to do any big or wild gestures such as give £100,000 to charity if it's not something which you would have done regularly. So they are really very well policed to make sure that they don't do anything that they shouldn't do.
Thanks for that answer, that's great.
The next question is, can I cancel my power of attorney or change it?
Well, yes, you can. You can always do this. However, you can only do this provided that you still have the mental capacity to do it. Of course, when we're talking about powers of attorney, we're talking about somebody's mental capacity quite often, so that it can be used when they've lost the mental capacity, whether they've had some form of illness, some form of accident, or just through old age, they don't have the capacity to deal with matters themselves. So you can always change whoever you want to appoint as your attorney, or indeed what that attorney can and can't do, but provided you've got the capacity to do so. Once you've lost the capacity and the power of attorney is acting, then obviously you can't do it. It is possible for other people to try and get it changed on your behalf, but it's a lot more difficult than it would be for just you to change it at any point when you wish to.
A question we often get asked is, can I leave my estate to anyone?
Well, this is a bit of a complicated one, but the honest answer is yes. You can leave it to family members, you can leave it to friends, you can leave it to the cat and dog home if you really want to. However, what you always have to bear in mind is that under Scots law, there is a concept called legal rights. And legal rights can be claimed by a spouse or a child if they haven't been left anything in a will. Now, a lot of people think this is challenging the will. It's not. This is a right, a legal right, which children and spouses have in a deceased's estate. So they're not challenging the will as such. That's a bit of a different concept. So you've always got to be wary that these legal rights exist. But the honest answer of can I leave my estate to anyone is yes, you can.
I'd like to thank Brian of Legal Beagle for helping us out today, for answering all your questions.
If you have any further questions for Legal Beagle or any of our team, please tweet or Facebook or get in touch with us via email. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you.
See you all soon.
Bye.